Welcome to The Inside Out Shift, a podcast for women rewriting success on their own terms after leaving corporate or traditional careers. I'm your host, Evgenia Baikova, business mindset strategist, Clifton Strengths expert, and founder of Fulfillment Coaching and Consulting. I work with women who've left corporate careers to build businesses that feel good and actually work by reconnecting with their strengths, simplifying their strategy, and finally leading in a way that fits them. And this show is where we explore what it really looks like to build a business and life from the inside out. No more proving, pleasing, or pushing. Just alignment, clarity, and confidence in who you are and what you are here to do. And today's guest bring that inside out shift to life in such a beautiful and tangible way. Meet Michele Dieckmeyer, founder of Fringe Form, an elevated women's boutique and styling destination located in Carmel City Center, Indiana. And after 25 years in healthcare leadership, Michele experienced her own personal transformation and followed the call to create something new. She blended that journey with professional style coaching to help women dress with confidence, purpose, and presence. At Fringe Form, you will find curated European fashion, intentional pieces, and most importantly, a space where women feel deeply seen, supported, and empowered to show up as their full selves. Michele believes that clothing should honor your body, reflect your story, and help you step into your day with confidence every single day. So let's dive in her story. Michele, welcome.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I'm so glad to be here with you today and the opportunity to share my story. So thank you.
Of course, and let's start with what you do. Can you share what Fringe Form is all about and the kind of experience you want women to have when they walk in?
Yeah. So I'm a personal stylist and obviously a business owner. Fringe and Form really is a vision that God laid on my heart. And I walked through a lot just in my lifetime, not just in a corporate sense, but in a personal sense, with obesity, teenage pregnancy, depression, abuse, breast implant illness. And through it all, I personally have found healing and just wholeness and purpose. And for me, that's rooted in my faith, but that's really how Fringe and Form was kind of born. So clothing was, became my creative outlet and gave me confidence, helped me be seen. And I'm trying to pass that on to other women. So, I've dressed myself from size 22 to size 0. I lost over 100 pounds at one point, not to say I'm a 0 now, but this is really Fringe and Form is about helping women embrace their authentic selves. And so it is a space where, we're really helping women to love themselves, see their worth, and help them get dressed with intention for the life that, each woman was meant to live. And that's different, right, for everyone. And so the space is really to help them feel beautiful and confident on purpose and to help them be able to express themselves and feel like their clothing is an extension of them. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And well, Michele, you've gone through such a personal transformation yourself, and you mentioned what you've actually been through. So, what inspired you to start this business, and what's the deeper why that fuels it?
Well, it really is about building confidence, about every woman being able to feel visible and to be seen and
Mhm.
feel like they are their own unique person. Because, we were all, and our slogan comes from, you were created a masterpiece, so dress like one.
Mhm.
We were all created uniquely different. And we're really trying to encourage women to own their own uniqueness. And we are doing that through the method of helping them with their personal style and providing them a variety of clothing and options for that are, high quality, that will stay with them for a long time and that really are different. We have a lot of different things because it really does take a variety of things for for each individual person, because we are so uniquely different, to really feel like ourselves, and we're expressing ourselves, and we're genuine to who we really want to be,
Mhm.
and help us to show up as our best self.
Yeah. And speaking about uniqueness, well, your brand name is so unique. What's the story behind Fringe and Form? What does the name mean to you?
Well, the name Fringe and Form, so it's kind of a variety of things. When you go through, trying to figure out what are you going to name your business, you get a lot of feedback from other
Yeah.
people, and you really do want your name to be, special to you and representational of what you're trying to do. And so what we do in the store is a lot to do with helping women, like, with owning their own uniqueness. It's has to do a lot with their body shape, right? So
Hmm.
that's where the forum comes. Is really,
Hmm.
we're trying to help women just own their own body and shape, and dress in a complete ensemble that just makes them feel like they are shining right from the inside out. And so that's the forum part. And the fringe is like it is the fun, it's the variety, it's there's all kinds of fringe. And to me, fringe is like a rainbow. It makes me happy, right? Color. And so fringe is it's just an example. It's just this one word that it's like, this is all of the little beautiful things in different ways that we help you be beautiful. So Fringe and Form was born, and that was just kind of how it came about after, well, several months of, narrowing it down. It really felt like
Yeah.
that was representational of,
Yeah, this is a beautiful story. And also, I know that you didn't take a straight line to get here and, to create your boutique. You've worked in healthcare, you worked in tech, and now in style. So, looking back, what parts of those previous careers prepared you for this chapter, even in the ways you didn't expect?
yeah. So that's a great question. So, in nursing, I did a lot of different things in nursing. So, whether it was like at the patient level, one on one, or it was with teams of nurses or medical professionals caring for individuals, there was one skill set that I feel like built over the years, and that is really the ability to be present for each
Mm.
individual person, being present for people where they are, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. And I feel like I bring that same mindset into my business now. It's like when a woman walks in, I'm listening beyond just what she says, right? It's less about selling a dress
Yeah.
or an outfit. Um, it's about serving her well in that moment, and really just being there for her, whatever it is. And it's not clothing all of the time. It's, sometimes it's just, for example, I had someone come in, was new to the area, and they had been to the BMV 3 times in a day. And, it can just be such an aggravating challenge trying to do those little things. And when you come up against, having challenges with people, and then you new to an area, she came in right before we closed, and we just connected, and we spent an hour together, and it was like,
Wow.
still friends to this day. And
Mhm.
it's one of those things. She didn't buy anything, right? She was just trying to decompress. And it was just, this is what we're all about. It's about making an impact in people's lives and women's lives, uplifting them, being there
Mhm.
for them.
Mhm.
And that's just one example, I guess, of
Mhm.
how we just meet people where they are, and that translates.
And thank you for bringing presence into our conversation. Yesterday I had another interview and we talk about the presence a lot because it seems like this is a missing part in our life because we were preconditioned to get ourselves busy to be seen productive or effective or valued. But this is the most valuable thing right now to be present and not just for yourself, but for others as well. And by doing that, you are not just, opening up so many things for yourself, but for others, because it seems like the most desirable thing that people are looking for is to be seen, heard, right? And to mean something for other people. Well, and thank you for doing that. And another question that came to my mind is about pivoting. You know that there are so many women out there thinking about some changes or even, changing careers or living their traditional careers, but they have fear and that fear holds them back. So I'm just wondering what helped you take the leap into something new, especially when it feels uncertain. And you shared so many pieces in your life that, well, you were not certain about.
Yeah. It's a great question. So it was a multitude of things. So I had, taken a job in the tech world and the health and life sciences, which I thought was going to be like, it was my dream job to bring innovation to the world. I've always loved, right, technology and really doing things more efficiently, as we're always, so short on time. But so I was very unhappy with where I was at, and I had never questioned my calling and passion. And for that moment, like, I was just like, God, I don't think this is where you want me. Like, it was really, I had come up against a situation that was really putting me in an ethical position. I thought, this is not using all my skills and resources. This is not what I have been called to do. I don't feel like anymore. I'm after leaving nursing, I'm in my calling. And I was really just, I was fervently praying, like, God, what is this where I'm at? Where have you taken me? Where do you want me to go? And I went to work one day and I got fired. And I was like, I was just floored. My identity, my entire life has been rooted in my work, who I was. And I didn't even realize that until I had it ripped from underneath me. And I was like, who am I? And what was I called to be? And where is my value? I just felt like I was worthless. And I thought I had come a long way from feeling worthless a long time ago. I had been on that healing journey. And really, that is right how this whole transformation and taking this step occurred, is I really turned inward, pulled out every project I had done in school, every certification credential, every card that any nurse had given me or any employee. Like, I was just like trying to turn inward, like, who am I? What was I called to do? Because I wasn't feeling called back into healthcare. And it was weird how this like vision, came upon me. And that's why I say it was a God-led vision, because it was such an elaborate idea, but it was still like taking the steps to move in that direction was so frightening. And it was one of those things where, it's like in your gut, when you keep going back to certain thoughts, or you keep going back to having this, certain feeling in your stomach. And then, there would be other women that I would connect or meet or network with and share my story. And we would just have deep conversations. And it just became more of that deep rooted feeling. And it was like, I feel like I have to do this. If I don't do this now, I feel like I'm being disingenuous. I feel like I'm not going in the right direction. But man, does it feel like walking on water, and it's scary. And I hope I answered your question.
Yes, yeah, and you are perfectly answered that, and it seems like it's very well connected to the previous one when we were talking about being present. Because when you're present, you're welcoming opportunities, and you are able to listen, right? So that's why you didn't dismiss the voice inside you. You didn't dismiss that feeling in your gut, right? And also you had that conversation with God about that, right? So you were there for yourself, for your future. And again, so being present, this is something magical.
Right. You really have to be in a space where you have you have margin, right? Like, you have to just be in the moment. And it's like, even if you don't have quiet moments, it's hard to hear and see and be there and understand even not only your own feelings, but the feelings and the body language and the things that are going on with the people around you.
Yes, yeah. And you just mentioned that work was your identity. So what shifted for you since then, and how you define success now on your own terms?
Well, I would say my mind shift has changed in that my faith has changed. Like, I can always say, oh yeah, I was a believer. I was a Christian. I was raised in a Christian home. I believed in God. And and I was, following a calling, for God's will for my life as a nurse. But this is completely different than that. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just completely different in that. I'm sorry, I lost my thought.
That's fine. That's fine.
What was your question again?
So, my question was about how you define success now, right? Because before that, your identity was so linked to
Yes.
work, like work
Okay.
was your identity.
Okay. Sorry. So yeah, so it is really linked to my faith because that is where the masterpiece comes from.
Mhm.
So as I was saying, I worked when I was my faith was strong that I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, but it was all work based, task based. It was what I did for people that gave me my value. And what
Mm.
changed was that time point when I was like, I'm not doing for people, right? I didn't have the job. I didn't have like, who was I if I was not doing things for other people? And so that was how my identity was changed with my faith, was that God was like, you are a child of mine, right? Like you were created a unique masterpiece. You are valuable because I made you. And that
Yes.
was the difference, I think, was that changing
Mhm.
moment, like with my faith, that really gave me that more secure feeling
Mhm.
of who I was again. So I had all the healing journey, but then it was another something that had to be changed within me for me to go out and be able to help other women, right? It was like something I had to go through. And so that completely changed the measure of my success
Yeah.
in the daily life, because it's the measure of success isn't what I do, right?
Yeah.
It isn't checking off the tasks. It isn't the
Mhm.
busy list.
Mhm.
It isn't any of that. It is just interacting with people and being present, that I know that is what I'm being called to do. And that's where the fringe and
Mhm.
warp space
Mhm.
comes in. It doesn't
Yeah.
have anything to do with sales, although, everyone knows you have to have a viable, business to be able to continue to do
Of
all of that
course.
work that's really impactful to you. But
Mhm. Mhm.
it keeps happening, and people
Yeah.
keep buying, it's twofold, right?
Yeah. And that's a wonderful transformation that happened to you. It seems like you just stopped looking for some external validations or external like pieces of success. So you internalize that. So your success is defined by you, who you are, and how you serve. So now you don't need for that external validation, which actually is not that easy to get.
Right. And
Mhm.
I didn't even realize that I needed that external, right, that validation. I didn't realize that. Like I feel like I was pressing so fast and so hard
Mhm.
ahead since I got pregnant out of wedlock, right? And
Yeah.
it was like, even in my, education is like, I started nursing, I was 20 as an LPN, and I just got my master's in 2017. I was driving all of those years for the credentials and the
Mhm.
certifications and all of that stuff. Like I didn't realize, like, I
Like
mean, I did
proving
want to make
yourself.
a larger impact. And so
Mhm.
that was part of it. I wanted to make a larger impact, and I needed that, I think, that knowledge behind me in nursing. But I think the bigger part of that was it was the credentials. It was feeling visible and
Yep. Mhm.
feeling valuable.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
completely right. It's the external
And
validation.
yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And let's talk about identity again, but in a different way, from the style perspective. So, for so many women, style is so personal and vulnerable. How do you see personal style as a tool for confidence or healing or self expression?
Right. So I do think that there's a lot of different, aspects of that. Obviously, healing and feeling beautiful has to come right from the inside out. But I think a lot of women would agree with me, and that's why I think we get stuck in this whole retail conundrum, is because we do all want to feel visible, and we want to feel beautiful. And it is something where we're all in search of that perfect outfit that's going to make us feel, ourselves and on fire. But there is really a psychology to how you dress.
Yeah.
There's been research that's been done, right? Not only about like your own performance, how you're dressed, how that really impacts your own performance, but how it makes you feel yourself. And the same with color and the colors that you're
Yeah.
wearing. It's not only how people perceive you, right? But it's how you perceive yourself. Investing in yourself does change how you feel about yourself. And so that's really what we're trying to do with women, is help them see the value that they are. And then we help to make them feel like the value that they are by helping them feel really good on the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
While also really building them up and coaching them of their value and their beauty on the inside.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. Also, I feel and I sense that it is so clear that you're building something much bigger than just a clothing store. So, what are you most proud of so far? And what's the bigger vision you are building toward?
Yeah. Um, so I will say, like, the biggest thing with our stories, I feel like we're making an impact with women, one woman at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And even people that we have that I would say come into the store and they're very closed off and they don't really want to engage. It's And I hate to keep making these references, it's really kind of like evangelism. It's about seed planting. It's about just being kind and just really just being thoughtful to wherever they're at when they come in. And I think that is what is really like keeping me going each day, is knowing that we are making an impact. For example, too, we had this recent fundraiser that we were a part of with Prevail, which is one of the few local nonprofits we started to be supporting and involved in. And I woke up the morning of that, and we had, models in this fashion show. And it was one of those turning points where you're just like, this day is what it's all about. It's really about doing the work in the community with women to give them hope. And
Yeah.
that was really what that whole day was about, was sharing and giving hope to other
Mhm.
women. And that is
Mhm.
even the work that we do with the nonprofits in the community is like even like more tender and valuable to me because of, where I've been in my life, where I had no hope early on in my life. And, many other times since then, it's like the sharing of stories and connection is what gives us each hope. And I think that Fringe and Form, that's what we're all about. We're about giving hope and confidence to women. And I feel like we're doing that
Yeah.
in many of different ways, but that's just, some of the examples.
Yeah, that's a beautiful example. And Michelle, if you can share one piece of advice for those who are thinking to start their business, or they started but they are somehow struggling, what could it be?
Um, I would just say, um, you can do it. I mean, you are not broken. Start with one step, one small step, and just keep going from there, right? It's like I'm not good with sayings, but it's like the elephant. How do you eat an elephant? It's, one bite at a time.
Hmm.
Don't look at the whole elephant because, it's not going to go good from there. But, just stay positive and stay in connection with other women. This whole outside of corporate world has just been so amazing. There are so many women out there that really want to just build each other up and support each
Hmm.
other. And it is really refreshing. And so start with one step and know that you can do it. You can do it.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for your wisdom. And Michelle, thank you for sharing your story and for the way you are helping women see themselves with more clarity, care, and confidence. And well, you've created something truly special with Fringe and Form. This is not just boutique. right? You've created something like a space where identity and expression meet purpose and style. And it's inspiring to see what happens when we stop trying to fit in and start dressing well and leading from the inside out.
Mhm.
And to everyone listening, if this episode sparks something for you, share it with a friend, leave a quick review, and follow the show. It helps more women find these honest and powerful conversations. And if you want to connect with Michele, explore her work, go to her space. You can find all the links in the show notes below. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time on the Inside Out show.